actually live on screen. Good. No nose picking. No.
You're listening to Guitar Talk with Will Musig.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Guitar Talk. Today's the 1st of August. It's already, my God, the year's flying.
Well,
Tonight, we welcome...
Time flies when you're having fun.
I know.
And if you're not having fun, then you have some serious
problem
inside.
Yeah, you got to do some stuff.
Some soul searching.
Everybody, please welcome Robyne Payne. Now, some of you may remember Robyn from the old days of Hey Hey, it's Saturday. The wacky day. I remember those days. You'd hang back. I remember like my brothers and sisters and stuff. They would hang back on the Saturday night, watch Hey Hey, and then go out.
Yep.
That's
what we all did.
The religious thing to do.
Yeah.
Everybody would hang back, watch it, and then go out.
Yep.
And that was your Saturday night.
Yep.
And then
and you'd go and do things during the ad breaks, or you'd go off and some segments you'd watch, like Funny Photos you'd watch, Pluck a Duck you'd watch, but some of the other things you'd probably go out and get your dinner ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now tonight we're going to talk about the old days of Hey Hey.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yep.
And we've got so much to talk about tonight with what Robyn's doing and stuff, because what you do is amazing, I have to admit. We've been listening to Robyn's album, and we'll talk about the album as well. And some of the stuff is just, it's one of those albums that you can put any song on and you'll say, yep, that's a kick-ass song. That's a great song. And then bang, the next one, great song, and so on. It's great.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Glad you like it.
We'll be talking about that in a minute. Yeah,
Okay.
Tonight.
Good.
So, Robyn, I ask everybody the same question because the answers are so different. When did it begin for you, being interested in playing a musical instrument?
I started piano when I was 6, so I probably always wanted, when I was 6, not when I was sick, when I was 6. And I always used to play tunes on things. I used to line up the glasses of water and put different pitch on them and play them with a spoon. Yeah, when I was little. And then my parents bought me one of those horrible little, it's called a xylophone, but there's a little metallic
one with the different colors?
Had the different colors, and it had legs, and it went from C to G. So C, it had the octave and a half.
Yeah.
And I could never work out why it sounded so bad when you played in F and you get that flat 4.
Yeah.
Sorry, flat 5. My brains. Anyway, you weren't getting the B flat, you were getting the B natural.
Yeah.
And it sounded awful. I used to, no, but you have to stay in C. Anyway, so I just wanted to learn piano. And so Mum and Dad bought a piano. But no one knew about music. And I had this piano teacher, God bless her. She used to try, but she never picked up that I had something musical going on.
Who was your piano teacher?
Oh, she's way gone. Ethel Black.
Ethel Black.
Ethel Black.
I actually, years ago, I used to have singing lessons with Shirley Radford.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you ever know Shirley? Apparently she used to do Channel 7. She used to do music she was a musical director for one of the Channel 7 shows. Yeah. And she used to, I'd be standing there in the piano. She had the grand piano. She was in Elwood. And she had the grand piano there. And she had this meter ruler on her music thing, right? You know, where you rest your music. And there was this was probably the second lesson in, and I was slouching. And she's gone, whack! And the thing the ruler just flicked up. And it's as if she knew exactly where she wanted me to stand in this spot. And it's like she had it lined up. And it flicked up and it hit me. And I've gone, whoa, and she goes, wake up.
It's scary.
And it's like
one of those piano teachers that used to whack you across the fingers with the ruler.
She was one of those. She was one of those, and it was like, and then the fear set in, and it was like, I've got to do what I'm told,
That's not a way to learn.
Nah, it's not. But I mean, look, we all have those. Now they're stories. They're great stories of yesteryear,
Yes.
So were your parents like, Did they understand like the music thing, or like were they musical, or were they?
My dad played records, and when he came out from England, he'd brought all his 78s with him. So he had all the big band things. So I grew up listening to lots of good music from what Dad used to play.
Yep.
And he did play all the big band stuff, all the 40s. It was fantastic.
Yep.
But no one played. And I wanted to play that stuff.
Yep.
And no one would teach me how to play it.
Yep.
And I didn't learn how to play any of that until in my late teens, started to learn some of those chords.
Yeah.
And some of those melodies and how it worked. And yeah, it was a shame because I just thought, I'll just play whatever I can play. So I used to play piano and play classical. And after a few years, I got bored with that and bought a guitar. And I used to play guitar. Then I used to sit on the end of the bed playing bass lines on the guitar.
Yep.
So I put my ear on the side of the guitar.
Yeah.
And play with.
Was it an
thumb.
electric guitar?
No, it
acoustic.
was a crappy old acoustic.
Yeah.
It cost me $10 or something. It was
Yeah.
all I could afford. But I used to play that thing, and I was saying to Mum and Dad, I just want to play with other musicians. So as good as we could get was for me to go and join the Moorabbin Brass Band and play trumpet with them when I was 12 or something.
And how long did you play trumpet for?
Oh, a couple of years. Yeah, only a couple of years. I then.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at your lips now. You don't have trumpet lips now.
No.
You haven't played for a while.
I haven't played for ages. I can play silly things that have. I've got a bugle at home, so I'll sometimes use that. But when I was doing that, when I think I was 13, I joined a band that I was playing guitar in this band, electric guitar, and
Yep.
we were doing a whole bunch of Deep Purple thing, and I was lead guitarist.
Yeah.
Not that I could play, but I used to work out the things.
The parts that you had to play.
Yeah, but I didn't have a good guitar, and I didn't have an overdrive. I
Yeah.
didn't even have an amp. But we used to do this stuff.
Yeah.
So that was good.
That's grouse.
Yeah.
And then from there, like, what school did you go to?
Went to Moorabbin High
Moorabbin High.
when I learnt to fight.
So you're a Moorabbin chick.
Yeah, I learnt to fight at
Yeah?
Moorabbin High.
Yeah? Okay, so you're roughy.
The school was rough. I had to defend myself.
Okay.
And because I was a girl doing stuff that guys did, it was even worse.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guys didn't like it.
Jeepers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought you'd been a roughie.
Well, I'm not really rough, but if you get rough with me,
Yeah,
I
I
defend
know.
myself.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I learnt to fight.
So I'll keep you away from Pino.
I'm gentle, mate. I'm very gentle.
And did they have a school band?
No.
Not really.
No.
Okay, so you went through school with no real music.
No music.
Not
at
like
school.
today where a lot of kids have got the opportunity.
There was not a skerrick of music. It was called music and art were considered a soft option.
Okay.
So you could get pulled out of class to do music if you played the clarinet or the flute, but I played the piano. So
Yeah.
no, and I played guitar. I mean, guitar wasn't a real instrument.
Yeah. And then from there, you've progressed, through your years. And then what was your first band you played in? Aside from the brass band and stuff,
Oh, the
like
deep and the sort of
say your first band
proper
where
band. We were just a 70s cover band because we were playing in the 70s.
Yep.
It was called Solenoid.
Solenoid
Yeah, and they used to get gigs at the local town hall dance.
down
We
in
used-
Moorabbin.
Down in Moorabbin Town Hall.
Moorabbin Town Hall.
Yeah, so we used to play there. I think I was 15 or 16, and I used to play with them, played guitar and sang.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what sort of songs did you do back in those days?
Oh.
Do you remember?
Skyhooks, and I remember doing Radar Love by Golden Earring.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember that song?
Yeah.
That's a good song. I mean, we played it really badly, but they're the only, I can't remember what we used to play.
Yeah.
Probably tried to play some Led Zeppelin things and made a terrible mess of it. But anyway,
It's
we were all
funny.
young.
It's funny that you say that because I mean, so many times, you bump into musicians and that some musicians are so protective. When you bump into those guys that are like, oh, I'm a professional, but they're not,
Mm.
right? And you hear them play and you go, oh, you're really not professional,
No.
and
Just get a real job.
but they really, really think that they are something and that they're playing it at such a high caliber, even though they're not.
Mm.
Yet here you are saying, "Oh man, we killed those songs; they were so bad."
Yeah.
But
we were learning.
but your level of playing is like up here.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Well, it is now. Thank
I
goodness.
I know, but yeah, but it's just funny that like you can openly discuss that from yesteryear, saying, "Oh, we were bad," and I'm, you know, it's like, yeah, I was bad. I'm proud of being bad. We
Yeah.
learned from it.
Yeah.
Played all my bad notes.
Yes. I used to overplay. I was in a band. I mean, this is skipping forward a few years, but I was in a band that was doing a bunch of funky things, and we were getting a few gigs doing George Duke and Flora Purim and those American bands. And that band split up, and Ross Hannaford,
Yep.
who used to play with Daddy Cool, he was looking for a band to do his reggae thing. And we became his band. And I was just fresh out of uni, and I'd learnt stuff. And I used to overplay disgustingly on keyboards. And I remember him coming up to me and goes, "Hey, man, leave half of that shit out." And I thought, yeah, you're right. I am overplaying. And from then, that point on, my playing took a big
Leap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of realizing
Less is best.
Play a hole is what I tell students. You know, it's
Yeah.
actually okay to
Leave a
take your
gap.
hands off. And
Yeah.
don't play anything as part of your part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
You know,
really good.
I once I was doing a gig and I introduced the drummer, and you know, everybody played their bit and everybody's, you know, overplaying. I introduced the drummer and he goes, "Snap,"
Yeah.
and he didn't even count. And I'm sitting there going, that is awesome. And then he came back in and it just made a massive impact. It was like normally a drummer would sit there and do every.
Yeah.
That's right, Pino. Every drummer would just go just to play and overshow.
Flatter McHughy.
Not me, mate.
No?
No,
Well, how would you have attacked it?
same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But yeah, so it was, you know, it was just one of those things where I thought, wow, you've just left space and it's just so beautiful.
I might actually consider that. There's one part of this Stevie Wonder show that we're doing where at the end of the night the whole band gets introduced and you all do your thing. I might do that.
Just leave a gap.
I'll just go, just let it ring,
Yeah.
and then I'll play some things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people don't actually realize that you're a bass player.
Yes, they're starting to realise.
Well,
Taken
they're
away.
starting to realize
Yeah,
it
I've always played bass.
Yeah.
And I've always played bass and keyboards.
together.
Yeah, in consecutively, if you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
But the keyboard side of things took off in the 80s. And so I went with it. And I was, you know, doing 16 and 18 gigs a week.
Yeah.
And it was just sessions and you name it. It was all going. But I still played bass and I did various things
Yeah.
filling in on bass. It always kept going. It's only in the last, I don't know, 15 years I decided, you know, or, you know,
You wanna
since
push it.
2000.
You want to push the
I
bass
go,
playing.
I love this instrument. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Not getting any younger, so I'm going to do it.
Do what you want.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. I love it.
Yeah. That's that. I'm like, see, when I mean, the way I got onto you was through somebody that we're quite mutual with,
Yes,
Karina,
yes.
who's
Karina the Cairo.
Karina the Cairo, who is our chiropractor, who is like two separate worlds away, coming
Yeah.
down to you, and yet she's
Yes.
in Airport West with me,
Yeah, and she's a DJ as well.
and she's a DJ as well, and she's
Yeah.
awesome. She's
Yeah.
fantastic, and I'll never forget. I've got my face in the actual table, and she's lying. You know, she said, "Okay, just relax for a minute," and she goes, "Hey, you know, I've got someone that I reckon you could put on the show." And I go, "Who?" And she goes, "Oh, I don't know if you'd know her." And I go, "Who?" And she goes, "Robyn." And I go, "Robyne Payne." She goes, "How'd you know that?"
Yeah, she would go, "How'd you know that?"
How'd you know that? It's like, yeah. And so, yeah, so then we made contact and here you are. So
Yes, here we are.
there you go.
Yes.
6 degrees of separation.
Oh no, it's bizarre.
Although that's not even 6, that was like
it's
1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, as time progressed, you started doing, you know, gigs with a lot of different things.
Mm.
How did the Hey Hey It's Saturday gig
Oh, that one.
happen?
That was interesting. I used to play at a place called Rembrandt's Restaurant.
Oh, Rembrandt's,
in
I
the
remember that.
80s.
Yeah.
The 80s, yeah.
That was out
Oh,
Dandenong-ish way, wasn't it?
No, that's out Burwood
Burwood
Highway.
Highway, out
Yeah,
that
yeah,
way. Yeah,
yeah.
going sort out.
Yeah,
for
out
me,
towards-
I live in the western suburbs, so that
Go
way
east.
is Dandenong
Go
way.
east.
Yeah, eastern. Yeah.
And why am I pointing there? I don't know which way. Anyway, east. And the bass. I was playing keys in that band. The bass player was a guy called Daryl McKenzie. He was really quite young.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd met him. I used to play on. The
Daryl was
young-
playing bass.
Yeah, he plays electric bass. But prior to that, I used to record all the backings for, or play keys on the recordings of the backings for Young Talent Time.
Oh yeah.
And Daryl was one of the junior arrangers, and he was studying arranging. Then he went off to America to really
Go
get his
for it.
chops
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
and he did. And when he got back, he was playing bass in this band that I was playing with at Rembrandt's. And then
Now that was a backing band, wasn't it? More
no,
than
it was
anything.
it
Was that like the Swagman days where you'd have
same.
the singers coming in with a floor show, the dancers and stuff, and
No, the band just used to. It was a cover band.
okay,
Yeah, and so sometimes we'd add horns if it was a big night.
Yeah.
The guy who ran the band had done some charts, but I left that band and then toured with the Seekers. That was most exciting. And then Tommy Emmanuel came from Sydney down to Melbourne and was looking for a band, and Ron Lee put him onto me. And I'd always wanted to play with Tommy Emmanuel, and I couldn't believe here he is. He's in my studio playing some things
yeah,
because he needed a place to record some tunes.
yeah,
And so I took, of course, it's a funny story. Rob Little and myself and Darren Ferrugia were in the Seekers band, and we got asked to play with Tommy. And I said, Rob and Darren, they came with me. The Seekers were very mad at us because I'd taken the band. Anyway, so I played with Tommy, and it was just at that time I'd done 2 years of touring with Tommy, and I was a bit over touring because
it's a hard life touring. Yeah,
look, I've got a husband and a life at home.
Yeah,
and I put that before anything else.
Yeah.
And so I gave the touring away, and then Daryl McKenzie had got the gig music directing Hey Hey, and they needed a second keyboard player, and the person he was looking at was doing, I think he was touring with Daryl Braithwaite, and so I'd been on a few times with Tommy, and so he said, "Will you do second keys?" I thought, "Yeah, sure."
and that's how
And
you
I
got
did
it.
that for 6.5 years, and I
Yeah,
wrote the opening theme that they used for all of that time too.
really.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that was good.
Yeah. And being on Hey Hey, I mean, like when you had the guys like Tom Jones come on and stuff, right?
Mm.
Did you actually get like, I know that usually when that sort of stuff happens, it's like out they come, there's your chart, bang, you go through the tune, bang, they go, bang, disappeared. It's bang, bang, bang.
Mostly,
Did you ever have any of them turn around and sort of hang with the band?
well, they didn't really hang. They had their own dressing room,
Yeah.
and the band never had a place to be, so we'd always go up to the cafeteria. And so if you wanted to see that artist, you could go and see them.
Yep.
So I've got a picture with me and Tom Jones.
Yep.
One of these days I'll put a website together all about me when I feel really narcissistic, and and I'll put the pictures up there. But yeah, so you could be with them. When Stevie Wonder came on, though, you couldn't get near him. He had a minder. Had a big guy outside the door like this, and there was
Yeah.
no getting near Stevie. So, and I really wanted to. I got some photos. What was interesting about Hey Hey is it was a real leveler, because at the time, John Bon Jovi was huge, or the band Bon Jovi was
Yeah, yeah.
huge. Was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
the top of everything, and everyone would be in the studio together, and they have to sound check as well as we have to sound check.
Yeah.
And so they, we're all there in the same room, in the same floor, sound checking our stuff. And it's like, you're no greater than us when you're in here. I
Yeah.
thought, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
There's, here to there is Stevie Wonder, and I'm just watching them play. And
all-
it's okay.
it's
No
all
one
the
was shooing us
Have,
away.
have you got any funny stories? Like what I want to hear is like one of those stories where it's like, oh man, we had to do the opening. We had to do a tune for a playoff, and there were a few of the guys in the band that had different arrangements. Did
What-
that ever happen?
No, what some but what was interesting with that band is we would play so many different styles. We'd turn up for our sound check, and Daryl would put a bunch of charts on the stand, and you'd open one and you'd play it through, and it'd be a rock thing, like full-on rock. Might even be doing, something of Led Zeppelin's. And then you'd go, the next chart you'd sound check would be a samba, and the next one would be something.
So it was a bit like a wedding gig.
It was just all sorts of things. But
Yeah.
what would sometimes happen is they'd get a band on, a guest band playing,
Yep.
and they'd often play to a backing track, but the vocals would be live because it just would take too long to sound check them
Yep.
and get the sound right. So it made more sense to have them use their
Backing
TV
track.
TV mixes. It was,
Yeah.
and then Daryl McKenzie would turn to us and say,
Listen to what's
listen
going
to it,
on.
Listen to it. We're going to play it off. We're going
Yeah.
to play them out.
Yeah.
So we'd all be having a listen and check the key, and he'd say, he'd work out it's in E, and then we'd be
The
listening.
4 sharps, the
Yeah.
old code.
Oh, you got to do that.
Oh,
Just
so,
so
you
everyone-
guys use the old code.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
B flat.
For those of you out there, that code would be like 4 sharps, which would be the key of E, and then you would have 4 flats or 2 flats or 1 sharp.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Still use that.
That's awesome.
That's
I've
great
got my
because
own
there's
code,
no.
Will.
What's that? No, you can't use that finger, Pino.
That's okay. It's like bloody G, isn't it? You're playing G whether you like it or not. So we do that. So I remember once the bass player in the band coming up to me because we had to play Paint It Black, and he came to me and said, "Do you know how the bass line goes?" Which I think is really great. Now I'm going, yeah, I do know how it goes, and I just played it on the keyboard for him. So there's that. But Craig Newman, I admire him.
Oh, I love Craig. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's my guru.
You know what I love about Craig? I took my son down to see him playing with Phil Tercia. It was one of the last gigs at Spencer's Live
Oh, with Damage.
with Damage.
Yes.
And I took him down and I introduced him to my son. My son plays bass.
Yes.
And I introduced him. My son said, "Dad, I want to meet Craig." And I said, "Well, you're going to have to go and introduce yourself. That's networking."
Yes.
So he stood next to Craig whilst Craig was talking to all of his other, the other
Yeah.
guys, because everybody wants to talk to Craig. And then Craig actually spent so much time with him that night that the guys were going back on stage and they've gone, Craig, and they were in the foyer.
Yes.
And he spent so
Great.
much time
Yeah.
it was like he was nurturing my son, and it was amazing. So
Yeah.
lovely guy.
Oh, he's great. Many years ago, I got a call from Grace Knight from Eurogliders. Because do you know Sam Leman, the guitarist?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Sam had put Grace on to me because Eurogliders were getting together again, and they were going to do a couple of concerts supporting Boomtown Rats.
Yep.
And I got the call because I played keyboards and sang. And so she asked me, she said, they've got these 2 gigs and want to know if you play keys. And I'm going, oh, gosh, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work programming the sounds and then practicing it just for 2 gigs. And I said, can I get back to you tomorrow on that when I'll have a listen to some of your songs?
And she's gone, what?
No,
I'm offering you a gig with me?
No, she was cool. And then I said, I'll get back to you tomorrow and let you know, just so you're not waiting. And so we started chatting.
Yeah.
And chatting about who's playing guitar in the band. I said, I've just had him play on an album with me that I played bass on. I said, you don't happen to have a bass player yet, do you? She said, no. I said, I'll play bass and sing, and I'll say yes now. And she goes, okay. And then apparently then I hear later, she got off the phone and said to her husband, who's also the manager, I don't know what I've done, but Robyn's going to play bass with us, and I don't know how good she is. And her husband, Ray, said, well, I don't know, go and ring the guitarist and ask. Oh, they rang someone, and they said, do you know Robyne Payne? Yeah. Have you ever heard her play bass? No. Great keyboard player, though. And so they're going, I don't know what we've done, but we're going to have to go with this.
Crikey.
And so they'd said yes. I listened to a whole lot of their songs, and she said to me, can you slap? I said, yeah, knowing full well my slapping really sucked. And she said, can you play rock? I said, yeah, I play rock all the time. She says, because I don't want to think that you'll be playing rock with us and looking up at the lighting rig going, I hate this, I want to get off stage. And anyway, so I listened to the songs. And I thought, oh, what have I done? I don't know if I can play this stuff. So I worked out a few things, and then I said, Craig, please help. So I went over and saw Craig, and he helped me through how to play a whole bunch of the things.
Yeah.
He said, you've got great technique. Don't worry about it, which is really lovely to hear from him.
Yeah.
And then I was a bit nervous for the first few gigs, but now I just go, oh, the Euroglider's gig, oh, yeah, easy. So
Now,
but he was great. He's just such a support.
You know how you're kind of you're talking yourself. It's like you're talking yourself down as a player, right? But we had Rob Walker on from the AMA last week from the Australian Music Association, and Rob said that he saw you performing with the Stevie Wonder show that you do.
Yes.
And he said, "Oh, Robyne Payne, man, you should have seen her play bass. She's awesome. She's mind blowing. She's chops, man."
Yeah, well, I've got good stuff to play. How can you not be good if you're playing Stevie's bass lines?
Yeah, yeah.
They're amazing.
They're great lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very blessed to have that gig. So I've got a charmed life, really, musically.
Yeah.
I get to play lots of different music styles with lots of different people. Half of my love of music is the love of playing music, but the other half is the people.
Yeah.
I just like the.
It's a family.
I just like being with the people, meeting new people, and helping out some of the young kids who are coming up. It's good.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you're still playing with the band?
Eurogliders, yeah, they still play. They do about the full band do about six or 8 gigs a year, usually interstate. No, they probably do more than that, probably 10 or 12. But then they have what they call baby Eurogliders, which is Bernie and Grace, who are the 2 main singers, and Bernie writes all the songs, by the way.
Yeah.
Every song.
Okay.
So it's Bernie and Grace, Sam LeMan.
Yep.
And another guitarist called Liam Gurner, who's spectacular and a great singer.
Yeah.
And excuse me, sometimes they add a drummer.
Yeah.
So Bernie plays a little bit of keyboard. Grace sometimes plays some percussion and some brushes and things like that.
Yep.
Snare. And the 2 guitars, so they do a lot of that. Yeah.
So it's like an acoustic that's without you or with you?
No, it's without me. So
without
it's like an unplugged.
So it's like an unplugged acoustic set.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a lot cheaper to
organise.
To organise because.
So are you that expensive? Are you? Gotcha.
Yes. Well, actually, don't come to.
Will, didn't you see the limo at the front?
Yeah.
Park?
Yeah. Well, there is a limo outside. So
that's not mine. I've got the gig car.
It's one of the guys collecting the rent in the area, is it, Pino? Oh, wow! Now, aside from you doing all your playing and stuff with the Eurogliders, and you've got another band as well.
Oh yeah, I have 2 bands, which consists of the 3 same players. If that's not confusing, we have one band called Engine Room, which is a trio.
That's the band that I posted on Facebook.
Yeah,
that's where you do
jazz
that.
rock fusion. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're a bit crazy.
Yeah.
We do a lot of Jeff Beck. We also do some music of a guitarist called Mark Lettieri, who plays with Snarky Puppy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's got some beautiful albums out. So our guitarist is really into his stuff, and it's very good. So we do a few of his things, and we've just started writing some original things.
Cool.
Which is great. So we plan to do some studio things later this year with a GoPro and a couple of cameras, and then just mix all the vision and put some things up for people to see.
Yep.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
And then the same 3 of us have another band called Jimmy in a Bottle, and we do police. So we're a police tribute
That is
band.
something.
Yeah, that's a good band. That's just getting up and running. We've done a handful of gigs.
And you're
so far.
singing in that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's funny, I saw a particular female bass player who's quite popular singing a couple of years ago, and I thought, you know what, I should sing. If she can sing, she's not a great singer. I can sing. I'm not a great singer either, but I can sing the police stuff. And I went and had some singing lessons a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And it made a huge difference.
Yeah.
So every time I sing now, even in the Stevie Wonder show, people come up to me and say, have you been taking lessons? She must have sounded bad before this. But it's okay now. So, yeah.
So with one thing I found, I filled in for a band once, and I had to play. I fill in on guitar, but I had to play bass and I had to sing. And we were playing, out of all songs, we started, the first song was Love Is in the Air, right?
Oh, okay.
So I can play it, no problem. But then when I started singing it,
Love is in the air.
it was like, and I just, it was like,
Yes.
man, it's a
That'd do your head in.
different thing altogether. Like playing I
yes.
Wish and having to sing.
Yes.
I can't play it. I can't play I Wish and sing at the same time.
Oh, really? That one's
Unless
easier
I'm
because it's-
comping on chords and
Mm.
just going, the F minor, F minor 7 and the B flat.
yeah,
If I'm doing that, then I'm fine. But to play that bass line,
Yeah.
ain't gonna work.
It's
Just
funny, isn't
can't.
it?
It's just a
Yeah, I
tongue
used to be
twister.
like that, but I think the more you do it, the better you get. Playing all those Police songs has really worked well for me
Yeah,
to do that, to sing against crazy bass lines.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
they're really crazy bass lines. Some of those things like what's the song? When the World is Running Down.
Yeah.
And that goes all the way through the song, and the whole thing sings across the top of it.
Yeah,
It's like sometimes I've had to stop and work out which note and which word land together,
yeah,
and then once I've kind of got that right, then it flows.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're going to take a commercial, and when we're back, we're going to talk more with Robyne Payne.
Oh, Eastgate Music is having a sale. Not some freaking 50% off a plectrum kind of sale. We're talking a big mid-year sale on select instruments, guitars, there's amps, bada-boom, there's drums, bada-bing, there's keyboards, PA and boutique effects pedals. Hundreds of items up to 60% off recommended retail price. There's Gibson, Yamaha, Fender, Roland, Epiphone, Martin, Taylor, Wagner, Magnatone, and more. Hey, how much of this merchandise do you think we got? Most items are one only, so be quicker than a New York Redifer drain pipe. Hey, click on the banner.
And we're back.
We're
So,
back.
yeah, and we were just saying now, man, the time's flying. We're having
know,
so
it's
much
amazing.
fun.
Yep.
And we haven't even covered half of the stuff that we've got to discuss. So, Peter Gregory.
Oh, Peter, hey.
Hi, Robyn. That writing is so small for me to read. Any fave
female bass players? Something to.
Yeah, it's really small
Each
for us. Pino's trying to
take a
sabotage me looking
show
at that screen.
Hang on, I'll read it.
Yeah, okay. Go and have a read. Yeah.
I was fortunate to take a show with Mohini Day last year. Woo!
Oh, Mohini, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's a bit of a techo wizard,
Yeah,
isn't she?
she's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? Thank you so much. And this is not an insult to anybody. It's just a comment. I was listening to Victor Wooten speak, as I do tend to like, and he said he's actually stopped doing all this because when he used to do that, he'd never get or really get booked for things that were just sat in a groove. He said because people always wanted him to go.
Yeah.
And he's found that then other players have said, yeah, actually, I've had to stop doing all that fancy stuff because, I mean, she might be different, and I hope she is. But, yeah.
But it's true.
Yeah, because people go, oh,
You
that's
overplay.
what that person does. They're really good at that stuff.
You need a bass player
All
for the
those-
bass player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually interesting you say that because I did a couple of gigs and one at the guitar show with Wayne Jones.
Yep.
So he was playing his melodies on the bass. I was playing keys, but he had I think Rob Little was playing bass with him.
Yep.
And we actually did a gig at Bird's Basement too, not long after that, and had 3 basses on stage.
Wow.
So that was good because they had Rob and Wayne and myself, and we did this 3 bass thing, which was great.
Yeah. And we've got the guitar show on this weekend, actually, at Caulfield Racecourse. So it's on Saturday and Sunday. So, and if you do go down, I'm actually emceeing the main stage. So
Yeah.
that's going to be fun.
Yeah, are you playing in it?
No,
Oh, what a shame.
no one's going to want to listen to me.
Oh, next year maybe.
I'm a hack from the western suburbs.
Yeah, doesn't matter where you come from.
No, it's all good.
Oh, hopefully you can get engine room in there next year. That'd be
Well,
great.
I'll talk to Rob about that.
Mm.
I think that'll be awesome
That'd be great.
because
It'd be fun.
the stuff you guys are doing is amazing.
Yes,
So-
we're having fun.
Now let's talk about. We've spoken about your gigs and all that sort of stuff.
Mm.
Let's start talking about what you do during the day in the studio,
Oh yes.
because your studio is doing some massive things.
Yeah, we're pretty busy. There's always
There's one.
There's my album.
There's your album.
Mm.
That I love the artwork too.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
That's the same guy who's done artwork for Adele. There you go.
Oh, really?
And it cost accordingly.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was very expensive, but he did a great job. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I've got that picture of me that's my little logo.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's nice.
Cats play.
Yes.
So,
Happy hour.
can you pop that up to the camera? Thanks, Pino.
Oh,
It's
look.
good to see Pino actually doing some work.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
Cats play.
Cats play.
Called Happy Hour.
Yeah.
And it's available on CD, baby. And
we're gonna play. We're gonna play
and-
one of those tracks soon as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So we record a lot of albums. I'm always doing production and arranging for somebody. And what else do? We do a lot of audio post-production, which is mixing films and documentaries and ads for TV and
So
radio.
when you're doing that, is that when you get a movie and there'll be like this scene of people walking in the dark in a forest,
Mm.
and you walk on
Oh, that's
that sort of
really
stuff? Is that what you're doing?
Foley. We can do Foley, and we've got a million sound effects in our library.
Yeah.
And if we don't have it, we'll make them.
Yeah.
But we don't do that much Foley. Usually that's been done before it comes to us for a mix.
Okay. So you guys are doing more the scores and stuff like that.
Sometimes we do music, but mostly it's the audio mix.
Oh, okay, so you're
so
doing
not
the audio
music.
mix.
Yeah.
Ah.
So I get all the components sent to us, and I beat it into shape
So it
and
sounds
fix up
good.
people's bad audio,
Oh.
things that are out of phase and recorded off mic and in reverberant rooms and
Wow. So you can actually clean up that
Yeah.
bad audio.
Oh yeah, mostly.
I've got to send you all the guitar talk videos then to fix up for Will.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I can do that. It's
Uh.
interesting. There's some really fabulous software around for doing that sort of job. I mean, it doesn't do it automatically, but it just
Yeah.
enables you to get in amongst a
The
piece
mess.
of audio and separate things and
Yeah,
get rid of
actually,
things.
there was a software package that Rob Little got me to buy, and it wasn't expensive either. And it's like this little, you've got this little thing that you highlight you've got the sound, and you can highlight, and you can actually pull that particular frequency out.
Yeah.
And it stands out
Oh, that's
in
cool.
the mix, and that was awesome. And
Mm.
I use that. They kind of say it's used to pull vocals out of the mix, but it's not all the
never heard
best,
that
because you can actually pull the vocals back
Back.
in the mix.
I've never heard that done effectively.
No, it doesn't work.
I mean, people
I tried
sometimes
it.
do it by flipping one side of the stereo out of phase and then summing it to mono, and you get this kind of weird
And then
thing
it
where
sounds
everything in the
wah.
center's kind of disappeared. But
Yeah,
if you've got reverb, then you're still hearing the reverb. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Anyway.
Is it called R mix? It's called R mix.
Mm.
R-mix. Yeah, and it's got this great sound effect when you open up the app. It's like great sound.
Okay, right.
So
Yes. All right. So
yes.
yes.
So you're doing the movie stuff,
Yeah. Not so much movies, short films,
short films.
and documentaries and TV and radio ads. So we record a lot of voices for TV and radio ads.
Yep.
We used to do a lot of music, but the thing you probably know us mostly for is all the Good Guys ads.
Okay.
So all of those, even the big band things, we do all of those.
Yeah.
And
And you do something else as well. All the train stations.
oh yes, all the metro train stuff.
So all the metro train stuff
Yeah,
is
all
you
those
guys.
voice. Yeah, I wish I was the voice saying it, because I'd get a tidy little rollover every year, but I just record it and cut it up. and
Oh, but hold
label
on,
it.
don't the producers get something out of it?
Producers of
Like when you're producing the thing, don't you get a cut out of?
oh, you get a little bit of a cut for booking the voiceover person.
And that's about it.
Yeah, and you just get paid for your time. We just
Ah,
that's okay. They
ah.
pay us well. They look after us. They're very loyal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's another interesting gig.
yeah.
Can you give us a demonstration like you did earlier?
Yeah. Go on. Can
Go.
you go on, give us a?
Oh, the train arriving on platform 4 will be the 4:35 to Richmond, stopping all stations. The
I love it. I love it.
4:35.
So did you guys have to do like in doing that? That would have taken hours.
Oh, it took days, weeks. There's so much to work through. Think of all of the station names. I don't know how many hundreds of station names there are, possibly 500 station names, but you have to do 4 different inflections. So you've got a starting inflection, you've got a whole lot of middle inflections, like if you're starting to have a list of names, then the second last one has a slight down inflection, and then the end ends. So you might say, buses will replace trains from Moorabbin, Caulfield, South Yarra, and Richmond.
Yeah.
So you've got those
The
inflections.
deflections.
Those inflections. So when Metro hook them up together, they sound great. But sometimes the girl who's actually spoken them hears them on the train, and she says, "No, that's the wrong inflection. You're supposed to use that." But anyway, it's a good job. It's great.
Oh, freak! It'd be funny for her to be on the train and be talking, and you hear the thing, and
Yeah.
people go, "That's you.
Mm.
That's her. That's
Yeah,
her."
she's famous. Yeah. So it's just another job that we do.
Wow. Now you've done. So you've played. Actually, going back onto the TV thing, you also played in New Faces.
Yeah,
Really?
new faces and
With Bert Newton back
Yeah.
in the day.
and Pot of Gold. No, it was with who did you? It might. I think it
Was
was
it with Bert Newton?
It was. That's a long time ago. And Pot of Gold.
It was about 5 years ago. I'm
You're funny. You're funny.
and Young Talent Time.
Yes. Recorded, played on the recordings that the kids used to sing to.
Now you know what? I'm just looking at your bio, right? I'm gonna say some names, and I just want you to say a quick sentence. All right, of that person.
Okay.
Right?
If I know them.
Tina Arena.
She's a great girl, and she always had to be very careful in public, because when she was not in public, she would say it as she saw it. There you go.
Okay. Tommy
And she's an
Emmanuel.
amazing singer, by the way, but everyone knows that.
Tommy Emmanuel.
Spectacular guitarist, like a big Labrador dog who's always happy. Always happy.
Yeah.
Always. Woohoo!
Yep. The Seekers.
An interesting mix of personalities.
Okay. Joe Cocker.
Oh, a legend.
Okay.
That's hardly a sentence.
Little River Band.
What an inspiration to play with legends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Barry Manilow. Did you work with Barry
Oh,
Manilow?
hey.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not. And look, people can say whatever they want about this, but I've seen Barry Manilow in 2 separate concerts.
Mm.
I reckon he's great.
Oh, he's a genius. I grew up listening to all his music.
Yeah.
And so to actually play with him was
Can
wonderful.
we
Beautiful.
have to-
Beautiful man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bonnie Raitt.
Oh, spectacular. She reckons our band was better than her band.
Oh,
Well, whether she was being right, but she'd played on Letterman and reckons we nailed it better than the Letterman band. So
really?
that's nice.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, Billy Thorpe.
Oh, my hero.
Because Billy Thorpe, he was like amazing.
Again, I grew up listening to his stuff and playing it on the guitar. It was just great when he came on Hey Hey, because I always wanted to play that distorted Wurlitzer piano part to most people I know.
Yeah.
So I would always get to play that. It was all that part.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. No.
And great guy, really appreciative, really gentle and sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tom Jones.
Another legend. What a treat to play with him. And again, really appreciative, really down to earth, wonderful. No wonder he's so successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now this is one of the bands you play with as well, Peter Couples.
Well, he has to be the most lovely human being on the planet, I think.
Yeah.
And he sings the Stevie Wonder stuff, and he's probably the only person I can think is qualified to do it.
Yep.
And he's wonderful. And my husband was listening to one of our shows, and he said, "I'll close my eyes and I can just see Stevie sitting at the piano, just doing the Stevie thing." But he's just got it. He's got all the inflections, and yeah, what a lovely person.
Yeah.
So I'm the music director of that band, so I get to throw my weight around.
And Peter does a mean trumpet solo with his
And
mouth.
yes.
How cool is he?
Well, we use live horns in the band now,
Yeah.
which is good because I pushed pretty hard for that. So I had the joy of writing all the parts.
So who you got in the horn section for that?
Well, usually we have Niels Rosendahl on sax and
Neil, I love Niels.
and Miles Izzo on trumpet.
He's playing with the military now.
With who?
Niels. He's joined the military.
Oh yeah, I know. We actually
Yeah.
helped him get that gig, which is great. But we've got some gigs up on the Murray in 2 weeks. We're playing at Albury and Mulwala.
Yep.
And we've got a couple of different guys playing with us on horns that weekend because Niels has got
Other things.
he's got the was he in the Air Force band?
Air Force band, I think. Yeah.
He's got Air Force band gig, and Miles has got something
And
else.
even I was telling you before, his album that you did,
Mm.
that you produced, is amazing.
Oh, thank
It's
you.
one of those albums you just play.
Oh, you've got to listen to it.
You play the first track. It like there are so many albums you get, and you listen to the first track, and you go, "Great." You put the second track on, you go, and you listen to a bit of it, and then you flick,
Yeah.
and then you listen to the next one, and you flick. That is the first album that I've grabbed, and I reckon I'm going to do the same thing with
I hope
this
so.
with your album.
Yeah.
That was the first album that I've grabbed, and I've gone, I love the first one, love the second one, and I think there's
Yeah.
8 or 9 songs on there,
Yeah.
and every single track on there is
Mm.
just a track that you go, I can't flick it,
yeah.
can't flick
I
to
think
the
the
next
album's
tune.
called No Time for Talkers.
Yeah,
Very good.
very well,
Worth a listen.
great name for it, and
Yeah.
the playing on it with
Oh,
the
great
band.
musicians.
Ah,
Yeah,
incredible
that's
guys,
good.
incredible
So,
guys.
I'm blessed. I just get those people in the studio all the time, and
Yeah,
what's not to like?
I know. Speaking of that album, Pino, can you call up one of the tracks off Robyn's album?
Oh, let's get Robyn to pick which.
Yeah, you
track.
pick a track.
Yeah, I think. Well, this is a bit of a funky thing. Track 10.
Yeah, I see that. I've already cued it.
Yes,
Jeez, I'm good.
track 10.
You're good,
This is a
Pino.
little bit of an average white band kind of vibe.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Sounds good.
That's amazing.
I've always got to have the last say.
Serious. That is amazing.
Ah,
You
thanks.
know.
Thanks.
Now you wrote that, didn't you?
Yeah, I've written everything on
You
that.
written
Yeah,
everything on that.
it was a collaboration with the other guy that he was sort of the inspiration and came with some little melodies and we made songs out of them.
Now, putting it all together with the whole instrumentation, did you write the arrangement as well, or did
Yeah.
you get some?
No, all right, all the
You wrote the
arrangements
whole
too.
the whole lot.
You got
That's
too much
awesome.
time on your hands.
Yeah,
Robyn,
oh, I was going insane. I was just saying, I was just looking at Rory Hollingsworth asking if there was ozone. I don't know. The software you were talking about wasn't, but I've got all the isotope RX, which is what I use
Yeah.
to fix bad audio. And I just thought we should talk about that.
We
before
need to talk
finish.
about. We need to talk about
We
the bass.
just, we need. Yeah,
Yep.
we've got to talk about this.
We got to talk about that bass.
This beautiful
that-
instrument.
This bass is amazing. I was talking about this bass not long ago,
Amazing bass. Sorry,
but you're holding the first one.
oh yes, I think it is the first one. Yes, rather nice. It is worth looking at.
That's the Cole Clark bass.
Yeah, the Cole Clark Kennedy. Because I have a friend called Neil Kennedy, and he makes beautiful basses, and this is one of his beautiful basses. And he was at NAMM this year, got Best in Show.
Nice.
What a guy!
Amazing.
Very impressed, and so he should do very well. And they've just gone into production on these.
Yep. Because I
So-
saw that they had the bass down at Miles had brought it in from Cole Clark down
Yeah.
to show Rob Little,
Mm.
and Rob was playing it, and I was walking sort of past the guys, and
Yeah.
Rob's gone, Will, come and have a look at this. And the minute I looked at it,
Yeah.
and
That's
even when you pulled it out of the case, I've gone, that's one of the, and I'm going, gee, you were quick on getting that.
Yeah,
you know?
but it's got no identification.
No,
on
it's got
so,
no name on
and
it,
it's
so that
kind
is
of-
the prototype.
It's
yeah.
kind of good because people come up to me after a gig and say, "What's that? Looks amazing." And I go, "Oh, Cold Kennedy. Yeah, you got to get your hands on one of these things. They're fantastic, nice and light."
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing bass. And
Yes.
even when it sits on your
Yeah.
leg, it's just so
yeah.
balanced.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good. Yeah, it's a joy to play.
yeah.
So I run around the country with Eurogliders and
Let's
any
hear
others.
it. Let's hear it
Oh, it's getting
a
serious.
little bit. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm going to
okay.
push you now.
Oh.
Going to make you work hard for you.
Oh, we've got 2 minutes left. Have we got any? So, just a
It's
delight.
nice.
It's a joy to play everything on it.
Yeah.
Can't play my normal stuff before copyright reasons.
Yeah.
So it's an awkward position to play, sitting with. Anyway,
Yeah. And that's your main bass, isn't it?
yeah. I've got a Ken Smith. And I've got this one, but I like this
You
one because
prefer
it's
this one?
light.
Yeah.
2.5 kilos or something.
Yeah.
It's good for a chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just rings when you play it. It
Oh,
just
great.
plays and plays.
And it's got all sorts of goodies on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I wonder if Cole Clark's going to have that at the guitar show.
Be surprised if they don't.
I wonder. I think they probably
Mm.
will.
Yeah, and they do 4 strings and 5 strings and
Yeah.
fretless ones and
Yeah.
a mighty fine job of it too.
It's an amazing bass.
Mm.
An amazing
So,
bass.
yeah, I'm very happy to be telling everyone about how good this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Rory's made a comment. Even the intonation on that thing is spot on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is actually. Can't edit it.
Rory just made a comment that you should give that bass away to the person who's made the most comments tonight.
Good try,
Go,
Rory.
Rory. Good try. Good try.
Oh gosh, I can't play in this position. It's even great
yeah,
down to the
it's
B
great.
string. It does not.
It's just balanced.
Yeah, it's not a tubby
Yeah.
sound. Often they get. It's great that it's not sort of.
Yeah. Now, for all you people listening that were thinking that Robyn's just a keyboard player, there you go. She's not.
Oh well,
Now, Robyn, you've got a couple of gigs coming up.
I have.
Jimmy in a Bottle
Mm.
is playing at the Altona Bowls Club on the 26th of August, and it's between 3 to 6 p.m.
Yes.
and it's a free gig,
Yes.
so anybody can go.
You go there, you can get something to eat and have a drink and listen to some police.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's cool.
And a little bit of Jimi Hendrix that night too. That afternoon.
Hey, Robyn,
Yes.
Rory just asked, what is something like that bass worth?
I think they retail around about 3.2,
There we go. Yes.
32.99, I think,
Mm.
by memory.
Yep.
So, but it when you play it, it's just something that, like I played the one at GH, and
Yes.
just it's like you don't want to put it down.
It's a joy.
You just don't want to put it down.
Yeah.
It's one of those bases.
Mm.
Yeah. So, and like even talking to the guys about it, the talk was, oh, you got to do one that's the shape of a P bass, and
Nah.
Neil turned around and said, no, it's already been done. You
But
know,
we've got P basses, you know,
it's
and
done.
they're
Why?
for me they're too cumbersome.
Yeah.
I don't like a big body on a bass.
Yeah.
That's why I love that one.
Yeah.
It's the body's not in the way. It's just there doing what it needs to do.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And you've got another gig in Wangaratta at the
Oh,
it's not
yes.
really the
It's sort of the
it's
very
on the Jazz
confusing.
Festival weekend
Yes, in Wangaratta.
in Wang, but the venue that you're playing at,
Well, the venue's kind of part of the festival too, but they haven't listed their stuff on the festival website. I don't know why. Anyway, so
but you're there anyway.
we're there,
And that's on the 3rd of November.
Yep, Saturday night.
And that's Engine Room, which is that's the funky
the jazz rock fusion,
thingamajiggy bobba bobba.
doing the Jeff Beck and
Yeah.
things and a few originals. There's a little bit of vocal in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do a couple of scorky things.
Stingy sort of
Oh, a
stuff.
couple of
Do you
stingy
sting some of
things.
the vocals?
Oh, I do a couple of stingy things.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And then you've got the Eurogliders. Do you know when the
Yes.
next gig with those guys
Oh,
is?
there's something in October. Something at the end of November at Memo Music Hall in St Kilda,
Okay.
and that's worth seeing.
Is that just the Eurogliders or is that a whole bunch of bands?
No, it's just the Eurogliders
Just the
doing
Eurogliders.
our show.
Okay.
That's worth a see.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah. And the Peter Couples thing?
Well, if you
Stevie
happen
Wonder?
to be up near the Murray in 2 weeks, we're playing in Albury on the 10th of August and Mulwala on the 11th.
Maybe we should do a guitar talk bus and go
go up there.
up and cheer
Yeah.
and carry
And
on.
they're free gigs, those ones.
Yeah.
And we've got something in October, Caravan Club and something else happening. I haven't got them with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Why are there so few women bass players?
I'd ask you the same thing. I have no idea. Doesn't make sense.
What about keyboard players?
Well, there's
You
piano-
asked this question before.
I know there's piano players. Look, it's the same thing on audio engineering. Girls don't do that.
Actually, you're right, you know.
It's weird, but they don't do that. I don't know why they don't play bass. Well, I mean, yes, there's a handful of very good female bass players, but in general, the ratio to guys is very low. And
Yeah.
guitarists, if you see, usually if you see a female carving up the guitar or the bass or the drums, you go, wow.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a chick do that, and it's kind of, through my whole musical career, people have always said to me, you play like a guy. And that is a compliment.
Yeah.
Because you're not fluffy playing, because it's really
Yeah.
solid. And when I play it, I mean it. I don't sort of go,
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I think it's all in the attitude.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit of a bull in a china shop.
Yeah.
I don't fluff around as a person.
Yeah.
And I think maybe if you've got a girl who's like that and she wants to play
Petite.
music,
Petite.
yeah, well, I'm certainly not petite.
Tomboy.
I suppose so. Yes.
So, Robyn, did you
Yes.
enjoy tonight?
I thought it was fabulous.
I thought tonight was great.
Mm.
So, I'd like to thank you for coming tonight.
I'd like to thank you for having me.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
it was
a treat.
absolutely
It
awesome.
was a treat.
So, and next week, this weekend, for everybody, just a reminder, come down to Caulfield Racecourse to the Melbourne Guitar Show, and come to the main stage because I'll be there. But I'm sort of
They won't miss the banner.
Pino got a banner. You got to come down and see the banner. Pino got a banner, and I was here on Monday night with Drum Talk, and Pino goes, "Hey, Will, have a look at the banner." And I looked at the banner, and he's unrolling it, and he's unrolling it, and he's unrolling it, and he's unrolling it. It's like
It's about 9 foot.
it's like 6 meters long. It's massive.
And what does it say?
Guitar Talk.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got Guitar Talk in the Muso channel, and it sort of plugs the radio
Yeah, good.
show, right, and
Yeah.
the radio station and stuff.
Mm.
But when we were setting it up, we sort of went, "Oh, okay, we'll get that size," but you don't think about the size until you actually see
Yes,
it.
that's right.
And it's taller than the ceiling in here, and because we said, "Oh, we'll put it in during the show," but it's too long.
Yeah.
So yeah. But that's all right, isn't it, Pino?
It sure is, man. They won't miss us.
No, they won't. They won't. They won't.
Yeah.
So anyway, guitar show on the weekend. So if you are there, please come up because I'd love to catch up with you and say g'day. On Monday night, drum talk. What's happening, Pino?
Running solo this Monday.
Oh, running solo. Great name for an album.
Yeah, running solo. I'm actually going to be talking about the AUDW weekend coming up in a couple of weeks, and all the artists and so forth, and what's happening. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And,
Tuesday night.
Tuesday night we've got on the mic. I'm not sure who's coming in with hosting, but it's from the Vocal Art Studios, so they'll be there on Tuesday night, and then we got guitar. We got Can Do Radio, Can Do Musos on Wednesday.
Yep.
7 o'clock till 8 o'clock, and then guitar talk with you.
Yeah, and we've got next week.
And what are we starting next week?
Next week we start. You can say it, Pete.
No, you can.
No.
It's because
What's in the box?
Pick a box.
Pick a box. So
Oh my
basically,
gosh.
you get to call up and pick what's in the box. Basically, you pick a box, and we're going to have 3 boxes. One of them's got nothing in it. So if you pick that one, someone else can call in. Someone else can call in, or you can call back if you want and have another shot, because that box is then removed from the 2 boxes. Now, out of the 2 boxes, one box is actually a good box. It's like a good prize. And the other one's like a dummy prize. So dummy prizes could be anything from like a dunny brush
Toothbrush,
to a toothbrush
a guitar pick.
to a guitar pick. Hey, can we put used tissues in there? No, I'm joking. But that's basically the game. So yeah. So we'll see.
Actually,
we'll see.
Will, you haven't heard this. This is the theme song. When you hear this, that's when they're going to call.
Okay.
Yes, it's that time. Pick a box. First caller in on 0412 376 848. Pick a box. Mystery prize or great prize or even an empty box.
That's awesome. So basically that will go off. We don't have, as you know, the show's wacky as it is. So we don't have a set time on when it will happen. So you will basically find out when you hear that, that's when it'll happen. So that's what's happening next week. Until next week, everybody, thanks for listening and see you later. Have a good one.
You're listening to Guitar Talk with Will Musig.